Hello, everyone. It's great to be back here in Sydney. This is the third time that James is inviting me to come to this conference. Who am I kidding? This is the third time we're sponsoring this conference and paying money to James so that he would invite me to this conference. This is the only way for me to get to speak. So thanks a lot for staying for what is a product talk, but it's not going to be a product talk. Because as I started putting together the slides and thinking what kind of new features I should tell you about, what kind of new product use cases should I tell you about, I thought, like, who cares? Who wants to listen to a product talk for 30 minutes, even if it is sponsored? The only thing that we all here care about is... No. Come on, guys. It's AI, guys. I mean, every conversation is AI, what do you think about AI, what AI is going to do? So let's talk about AI for like 30 minutes. If you came for the product talk, don't worry. I have you fixed. I have a lot of product references here, so it's going to be fine. So 3 topics that I want to discuss, which often come up in my conversations with fellow marketers. First of all, is AI killing SEO? Secondly, how to get traffic from AI chatbots. And finally, how to use AI in marketing. Sounds good? Yes. Okay, good. Because you were expecting probably a product talk, so I'm hoping that I'm overcoming your expectations. So, is AI killing SEO? There's a lot of conversation about the fact that Google market share is being down because of all the AI chatbots, that they're eating into market share of Google. Is that so? No. And we have data to prove it. First of all, there's a research by Rand Fishkin, published at SparkToro blog. Go look it up. They actually studied clickstream data to see that Google is 373 times has 373 times more searches than ChatGPT. And actually, Google officially published that they grew by 20% in 2024. So no, ChatGPT isn't really eating into their market share. There's another cool graph to show the market share of all those search engines. And as you can see, Google is what, 93? ChatGPT is 0.25. It's nowhere. And yeah, James has shared a graph from Kevin Indig where he's predicting that 3 years from now, ChatGPT is going to be like 1/3 of referral traffic. I don't know where it came from. I don't see this coming. Maybe, I don't know. So far, it's not looking to be like that. And again, ChatGPT with 0.25%, it's 10 times more popular than any of its competitors, like Perplexity, Gemini, Gemini, or whatever you call it. So all those things are not as popular as they seem in our little marketing bubble. But in Google, we have AI overviews. Aren't they eating into the clicks of organic listings? Well, actually, they do. Again, to give credit to Kevin Indig, who said that ChatGPT traffic is growing, he also analyzed a lot of research studies by other people. And it seems that whenever there's an AI overview in the search results, clicks on the organic listings are dropping, which is expected, to be honest. But the same is happening. The same has happened when Google released featured snippets, knowledge panels, people also ask boxes, even ads, right? They had 3 ads, they had 4 ads. They were making their ads look more like organic listings so that people would click more on them. So Google has been stealing traffic away from SEO professionals for a long, long time. Not much is changing there. The question is, how often do AI overviews show up? And again, we have data, not just words or perceptions. We studied 150 million keywords in the United States. Now, looking back, should have taken Australia. But from the 150 million keywords in the United States, only 7.6% of them, like only 7.6% of unique search queries, had AI overviews. But unique search queries is not indicative of the actual search volume, right? Because some phrases getting searched a little, other phrases getting searched a lot. So what we did, we actually calculated all the search volume of queries, and turns out that only 6% of searches, actual searches, not the search queries, but searches, show up with AI overviews. Again, those are single-digit numbers. The majority of searches that people are making on Google, they don't contain AI overviews. And finally, we also studied the search intent of the keywords of the search queries where AI overviews showed up. And predominantly, 89.19%, it's informational queries. This is something we discussed with Aleida just a couple hours ago in the hall, that most of the searches where AI overviews show up are informational. There's nothing navigational, there's nothing commercial, there's nothing transactional. So again, there's a lot of opportunity in SEO still. I'm not sure where all the fear-mongering is coming from. There's still a lot of opportunity. Quick plug, in Ahrefs, in Keywords Explorer, we have a filter for AI overviews. So whenever you're doing keyword research and you want to see if this keyword is triggering AI overview or not, you can use this filter. And the same filter we have inside Explorer. So if you're researching the keywords that your competitors rank for, and you want to see if any of the keywords that they rank for trigger AI overviews or not, you can use this filter to find out. OK, so AI is not killing SEO. It is changing SEO, definitely. And Ryan Law, from our content team, our head of content, wrote a pretty awesome article at Ahrefs blog with a great title. SEO is the worst it's ever been. It's kind of true. And it's still your best marketing channel. So if, I know, your boss, your clients are asking you what's happening to SEO, I suggest you to go read this article and see what arguments Ryan is making. By the way, it's the same Ryan who went viral for posting screenshot of HubSpot's traffic going down. Fun fact. OK, so how to get traffic from AI chatbots? Even if they don't have a lot of market share, you still can get some traffic from them, right? And a lot of people are wondering how to show up in AI chatbots and get value from this. So again, at Ahrefs, we have a lot of data. We like to not just share our opinions, but support them with real data. So we studied traffic to 300 websites. Where it is coming from, again, quick plug, we launched free website analytics product. You basically install our script on your website, and you get free website analytics, just like Google Analytics, but a bit simpler, and not Google, which is also pretty cool. So yeah, just a quick plug. Ahrefs Web Analytics in the first 30 days, 10,000 websites installed it. In 3 months, it was about 40K, so the database is growing. And we're going to publish a lot more cool research based on the data that we get from other websites. But back to this study. So there were a bunch of takeaways, but the most important is this one. 0.17% of the average website's traffic comes from AI chatbots. I think Kyle Roof was saying this earlier, that AI chatbots are much smaller than Bing, and somehow we don't care about Bing, about ranking in Bing, about getting traffic from Bing. We only care about Google. But now suddenly, we care about 0.17% of traffic that we're getting, right? It's kind of, again, compared to search traffic on the same data set of 3,000 websites, search traffic is almost 40%, again, which is expected. So the question is not how to get traffic from AI chatbots, as much as it is how to get mentioned. Because people don't necessarily click, and not every chatbot will give you links to click, but they would reference, they would mention some products or brands. Case in point, at Ahrefs, we have self-attribution. So whenever someone signs up for a free or paid account, we ask them, where did you learn about Ahrefs? And all those answers are getting sent in our Slack channel, where we can look up and see. Usually, marketing team looks up to see how our different campaigns are doing, if people are mentioning it. So as you can see, ChatGPT was mentioned in at least 17,000 account registrations at Ahrefs. That's basically when was ChatGPT started? 2 years ago, something like that. So it's not for the past year, it's for the entire thing. So how do you get mentioned by chatbots? First of all, stop blocking them. Because again, we did a study, too bad I didn't mention how many robots.txt files we studied, but it was also something along the lines of millions. We're going to publish this study probably next week on Ahrefs blog. But the thing is, almost 6% of websites are blocking ChatGPT bot. Some of them are doing it intentionally, so they specifically mention, I don't want ChatGPT to crawl my content, but some websites have disallow all and then allow Google only. So all the websites that have disallow all and then they allow a bunch of robots, they are missing out on on being crawled by those LLMs and therefore kind of being mentioned. Second thing, how do you get mentioned by LLMs? This is something I posted on LinkedIn the other day, and it got quite a bit of support. You do all the same things that you did for SEO. You create a great product or great content. You publish a lot of stuff. You build links. You educate people. All the same things that we're doing for SEO will help us get mentioned by LLMs. And again, this point has been made today a few times, because LLMO, optimizing for LLMs and getting LLMs to mention you, is the same as SEO. And again, Ryan Law, our head of content, made a great point. He said, can anyone show me a company who has great visibility in LLMs, but not in traditional search? Or the other way around. Also, back to the point that Kyle was making about Bing. Bing is, what, 5% of market share or something, and we still don't care optimizing for it specifically. So if optimizing for LLMs and for SEO were at odds with each other, you can only optimize for one of them, which one would you choose? I think the answer is pretty clear. But the question still is, how to measure your brand's visibility in LLMs, because you still want to know what's happening to be able to change your decisions accordingly and change your marketing strategy, change your content strategy accordingly. And the other day I saw on Twitter, some guy by the name Nathan tweeted, is anyone building Ahrefs for LLMs? And I couldn't help but reply that Ahrefs is building Ahrefs for LLMs. We actually built a beta version of that. It's called Brand Radar. Aleida mentioned it in her talk. Thanks a lot for this. What this tool does, you put a bunch of brands that you want to study, and we search for mention of those brands in the keywords that people put in Google and in AI overviews that Google spits back. So right now, this tool only works with AI overviews in Google. It doesn't include ChatGPT, Perplexity, or all those other things. Kind of for the reasons that I just explained, we couldn't prioritize it because right now Google AI overviews is kind of the biggest LLM that people are using. So yeah, you mentioned a bunch of brands, and we show you the market share, which brands are mentioned more, which brands are mentioned less. And we actually show you all the search queries and all the content of AI overview, so you can see, for example, why my competitor is mentioned. Like, you can see the keywords where your competitor is mentioned in AI overviews, but you are not mentioned, as well as the other way around. Again, this tool is still in beta. We're still improving it. I already got a couple feature requests from people while chatting in the hallway to add country selector, to add grouping by websites and things like that. So this tool is going to evolve over time. Please keep submitting your feature requests. We'll be happy to implement them. OK. It is still true that a lot of people, not just Ahrefs, are building this kind of tool, kind of rank tracker for AI chatbots, rank tracker for LLMs. And when choosing those tools, it is important to understand how they work. So I just described how our Brand Radar works, because what it does, it looks for your brands within the keywords that people are searching for in Google, and in the content of AI overviews that Google is giving back. I've seen some other tools. For example, this one has gained a little bit of traction because it was developed by Peter Levels. Does anyone know Peter Levels? Okay, not too many people. So he's quite a famous in the indie hacker community, to the point that he was even interviewed by Lex Friedman or something. So he launched his own kind of LLM rank tracker tool, and what it does, you basically give him a query like, what are the best, I don't know, bars in Sydney? And what it would do, it would ask this question to a bunch of LLMs. Right now on the screenshot, I see only 3, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. And it will see like who shows up in this list at number 1, number 2, number 3, and give you those rankings. Some other tools will let you, some other tools would ask a different question to LLMs. For example, they would say, we have car brands. Please compare these car brands by their price, their speed, reliability, blah, 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 blah. And it would create like a nice interface. But essentially, what's behind this nice interface is just 2-3 queries to AI. So it's very important to understand how those tools work. And my prediction is that a lot of these tools are going to be free because they are just so easy to build. And eventually, none of us would be able to charge for them because there's not much to charge for unless you're able to add a lot of expensive data on the back end. Final section of my talk, using AI in marketing. So last year, I started Ahrefs podcast. Anyone is listening? Couple people. I actually got some compliments from 3 people today about Ahrefs podcast, so thank you. I was interviewing Zach Harris. He worked at Copy.ai, and he's responsible for their SEO strategy. And because Copy.ai was advertising themselves as a tool that helps you create content with AI, basically with one click, I really wanted to grill him about the quality of this content. And what we did during this podcast interview, because I'm always trying to do something kind of interesting and creative with my podcast episodes. So what I told him is that if you're so confident that your AI tool, AI prompts, AI models, AI workflows, whatever, can create great content, let's do a competition. We'll take this interview that we are recording right now. It was a 2-hour interview. And you feed it to your AI workflows and ask them to create, I think, 2 articles. And what I would do, I would hire a bunch of freelancers, and I would give them the same task. Take the transcript of our interview and write 2 articles. Then we showed those articles internally to our marketing team and made them vote for which articles are better and which are worse. The result was quite unexpected. All the articles were shit. And the important takeaway is that this is not how great content is created in the first place. You cannot just take a podcast interview and tell someone, create an amazing article out of it. You can create an amazing article out of an amazing idea, not just a random podcast interview. This is why I'm quite skeptical about the ability of those tools to create meaningful content with one click. Can they create a copy of your article? A nice-looking copy of your article? Yes, they can. Can they create something new, something meaningful? I don't see that. If you can prove me wrong, come on my podcast, get humiliated, and... Okay, so yeah, I think creating one-click content with AI is not the way, but you can definitely use AI to improve your content. As you can tell, I'm not a native speaker, so whenever I'm posting something on LinkedIn and whenever I'm writing some articles, I usually put snippets of my writing to ChatGPT, and I ask it, like, can you tighten it up? Can you improve my sentences and things like that? And it does a pretty great job, or it offers me angles, but still it's a back and forth. It cannot create stuff by itself. So speaking about AI content, I know that what's on the mind of a lot of people is detecting the content that was created by AI. And at Ahrefs, we built our own AI detection tool. Turns out you don't need billions of dollars to do this. It's fairly simple if you're a data scientist. So basically, this is a quick test. I asked the ChatGPT to write a paragraph about myself. I put it into our AI detection tool. It showed yes. And we have this script that we can run on a pretty big scale. We actually run it for 770,000 pages that were created in January 2025 to see how much content is created by AI and how much content is created by humans. And the first thing we realized that it's not black and white. It's not just AI or humans. Because as you can see, by human, only 21% of content was created by humans. Only 3% of content was 100% AI. And everything else was a mix. So then we used our model to identify what percentage of content is likely written by AI and what percentage of content is likely human. But this actually looks promising, and this looks kind of within the ideology that I was sharing with you, that creating content, one-click content with AI is not the way to go, but improving your content with AI is pretty doable. Just for fun, I also asked our data scientists to do the same thing for 26 articles from Ahrefs blog, from our own blog, to see how much of AI we were using. And then I asked the team to go through the results and tell me if the results look correct. Because some people have questions about the quality of those AI detectors. They have a lot of false positives and blah, blah, blah. And of course, the team didn't agree 100%, but everyone agreed that it was quite directionally accurate. And the articles that our script identified had a lot of AI were definitely written by, or AI was used a lot. And whenever it didn't identify, our team didn't use AI. So it was a pretty interesting experiment. That being said, we want to let you guys use this AI detector tool, and we are now adding it to Ahrefs. So within Page Inspect, you'll be able to see if the content of the page is written by AI or not, and we'll be giving scores, and we'll be adding more models. I think this should probably be released by the end of this month, probably. And it would be pretty cool, because if you'll see that your competitor has outranked you, you can actually go and check, did they use AI to improve their page, or is it all human written? Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe competitors started ranking better, and you would see that they had a lot of AI, because we have historical snippets of the page, and you would be able to compare. So this is pretty cool. Another food for thought, something I didn't know, but something our data science people told me, is that a lot of LLMs are actually watermarking the content that they create. So for example, if you create content with Gemini, which comes from Google, and you try to feed this content back to Google, they probably know that this content is generated by them. So this is some food for thought. So yeah, I said that creating one-click content with AI is not a good strategy. A much better strategy is to use AI to improve your content, but there's one more step there. And this is adding AI to your product. This is something that I saw. You like my choice of Drake still shot or something? Yeah, so I've seen a lot of companies having a lot of success with creating products that are based on AI, or enhancing their product with AI so that people wouldn't have to go back and forth between, I don't know, ChatGPT and your product. Speaking of which, we released AI Content Helper. I promised you that there would be some product references here. So yeah, what it does, we don't let you create one-click content. This is not our ideology. But what we do, you give us a keyword. We scrape the competitors. We show you what kind of topics they're using. We score the topic coverage. So one article can be covering a bunch of topics, and we tell you, you put in your own content, and we score it compared to your competitors and show you if you're covering those topics better or worse. We give you some recommendations of keywords, title tags, headings, meta descriptions, all that. AI is pretty helpful there. And recently, we also added Ask AI chat. Basically, you can highlight a piece of text and ask AI to rephrase, improve, make shorter, blah, blah, blah. This is kind of in line how our own team uses AI. So instead of letting you guys put a keyword and we would generate 5 articles off of that keyword, no, we let you put a keyword, put your article, and we would help you refine your article to have better topic coverage. And yeah, we're always eating our own dog food. We're trying to create tools that we would use ourselves in our own marketing department. So this is Ryan, our head of content, sharing that AI Content Helper is very helpful to help outline new posts, as well as update existing content to quickly find those content gaps. Again, Keywords Explorer. We added some AI functionality there as well to help you with keyword research. Basically, whenever you're starting a keyword research in an industry that you're not very familiar with, you can ask AI to help you generate keywords, for example, related to parenting, and it would spit a lot of keywords. Like I said, it's not a groundbreaking feature. It's just to save you a couple seconds going there and back between the tabs with ChatGPT. A more sophisticated thing that we've added is search intents. So we have a pretty huge database. I think for the US or in English language, it's a couple billion keywords. And with the help of AI, we were able to categorize all those keywords by their search intent: informational, navigational, commercial, transactional. So whenever you're doing keyword research and you want to focus on only one type of search intent, you can do this. But at the same time, I'm not a very big fan of bucketing keywords into search intent, because other than informational, transactional, navigational, whatever, what about news? What about local search intent? There are many different things that people are expecting. And then for that reason, within the SERP overview widget, we added a button, identify intents. And what it does, AI would scrape the titles and descriptions of pages, and it would create a breakdown of what people expect to see. So here for the query keyword research, the dominant search intent, you can see 75% is people want tools. So when you search keyword research, people want to see lists of tools. And 14% of search intent, according to the search results that they're ranking, goes to how-to guides, how to do keyword research. So it's pretty handy. Again, it's not super groundbreaking, but it saves you, I know, a minute of manually browsing the search results and understanding what most of the pages in the search results are talking about. Then we did the same for branded and non-branded keywords. So you can now filter if keyword is branded or not, which is very useful because it seems that we are entering the era of brand in marketing. And again, because we now have this data, we're able to run those interesting studies. So it turns out that almost half of all the searches in Google, 45%, are branded. So in one way or another, 45% of searches that people are doing in Google are mentioning some kind of brand. So again, is it in the scope of SEO to work on branding and to create those branding searches? I don't know, you decide. But you can see that branded searches are a huge part of SEO, whether you work on them or not. And finally, we also categorize keywords into local and non-local, but I won't stop on this for too long. Finally, again, because this is a sponsored talk, and this is my job to tell you about the awesome stuff of Ahrefs. By the way, how many of you are customers of Ahrefs? Okay, good. By the end of this talk, the guys who didn't raise their hands, I'm watching you. So these are actually my favorite new features because we release a lot, and I only have so much time, so I'm legit sharing the stuff that excites me personally. So first of all, content changes. What you can do inside Explorer, whenever you're browsing the top pages of your competitors, you can pick 2 dates, and you can see which pages gained traffic and which pages lost traffic. You can see the difference in traffic to these pages between the 2 dates. And we've added another column which shows between those 2 dates how much changes to the content of the page happened during this period. So basically you can see, okay, this page dropped a lot in traffic. Was there any changes? This is pretty cool. And then again, we show those changes as bubbles on the graph. So it is very easy to show your clients, you see, I updated this page, and shortly after this, it showed up in traffic. This is very cool to correlate and show your clients, your customers, the value of the work that you're doing. And finally, because we have the actual snapshots, you can go back in time and compare, because if your competitor outranked you, you can check their page and see what changed on the page. You can see the actual stuff that they removed, actual stuff that they added. If you're familiar with archive.org, the thing that lets you go back in time and see what changed on the pages, it's kind of the same thing, but on steroids. Growth metric. So quick hack, not too many people know to the point that we had to actually add a button for it. You could previously do an empty search in Keywords Explorer, just hit search without entering any keyword, and it would expose our entire database, which you can use filters on. But we got tired of telling people that this is possible, and we added a button that says explore entire database. And for example, what you can do is you can use a growth filter on this entire database. You can see which keywords in the past 3, 6, 12 months were gaining popularity. Right now, to be honest with you, it's a bit half-baked because it only shows like keywords that spiked in popularity, not necessarily like gradual growth. But we're adding some heuristics to let you filter between keywords that quickly gain popularity or slowly gaining popularity or gain popularity and dipped. So we'll introduce like, you'll be able to choose the curve that you will see on this graph. And yeah, just a quick example of cool stuff that you can do with this. If you do an empty search in Keywords Explorer, you can do a filter by volume. I only want to see keywords from 1,000 to 100,000 searches. I want to see that they've grew in 3 months by 900%. And I want to see only keywords that have the shopping SERP feature in the search results. So basically, and then you can also use because I did the screenshot before we introduced intents, you can also use branded or not branded or commercial search intent and find cool keywords. I know not too many people are in affiliate marketing, but this is pretty cool for finding new cool stuff that you can promote. Very quickly, Reports Builder. Again, because a lot of our customers are agencies, they're asking us to create a tool where they can create bespoke reports for their clients. We launched this tool. We keep adding widgets there. So if you're using this tool and you want us to add a specific widget, just reach out to our customer support team. We're very attentive to what our customers are requesting. So if you need something, we'll add it. OK, I'm done with all the product talk. One last thing that I want to promote. I actually did this, but I want to promote it again. It's Ahrefs podcast. This is my baby. To be honest with you, I treat Ahrefs podcast as a free consulting for me. So I just reach out to people whose brain I want to pick, and I tell them, can I just ask you questions for 2 hours? And you will reply and get nothing out of it, except for my respect. It's important to say that this podcast, even though Ahrefs is known as an SEO tool, the podcast is not about SEO, because I'm not really an SEO. I'm CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. So I'm interested in all areas of marketing. This is why I'm bringing guests from all areas of marketing and talk about all sorts of stuff with them. And just to give you an idea of how I prepare for those interviews, this is not AI, guys. Those are like on the wall. Those are my real notes. Because like after season 10, I had a stack of notes that I made for my guests, and I was about to throw them away. But then I remembered this meme, and I was like, that actually makes sense. So yeah, if you won't subscribe to Ahrefs podcast after this, I don't know what would make you subscribe to it. And that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed the talk. Thank you.